Let's do this thing. Main event time. UFC 276. Middleweight title fight. Israel, the last style bender. Adesanya takes on Jared. Is his nickname the Killer Gorilla? Yes, it is.
The Killer Gorilla.
Killer Gorilla Cannonier. Adesanya 21-1 as a pro. That only loss as a pro is when he went up and challenged Jan Blachowicz for the UFC light heavyweight title back in March of last year. It was unsuccessful, but he is still undefeated at 185 pounds. 22 victories, 15 of them knockouts or TKOs. He himself has never been knocked out in MMA, has never been submitted in MMA. Jared Cannonier, enter Jared Cannonier, has fought at heavyweight, light heavyweight, and now middleweight. One of the scariest looking physiques on the roster. He's 15-5 as a pro with 10 knockouts, 2 subs. He is coming off back-to-back wins over Kelvin Gastelum and most recently knocking out viciously with elbows Derek Brunson. Omar, I'm going to start with you this time. Adesanya, no man has beaten him who weighs 185 pounds. How much of a chance are you giving Jared Cannonier on Saturday night?
It's definitely got a chance. I look at the fight with Robert Whittaker to get an idea of what we probably have to look forward to. And I say that because the way we've just been talking about Colby and Usman, and we've been talking about Volkanovski and Holloway, is very similar to how I feel about Israel Adesanya and Robert Whittaker. Robert Whittaker, I think, is probably arguably the second best middleweight right now. And that's because he's already lost 2 to Izzy pretty handily. When I look at that fight with Cannonier, there are a lot of avenues that would work in Adesanya's favor. Cannonier is hittable. He's just very durable. So I don't think he's going to go away by any stretch of the imagination. But I do think he's going to give Adesanya the canvas to really paint a flashy picture. I think there will be a lot of moments of danger in that fight that Cannonier presents to Adesanya because the man can crack, and I don't even want to know what any one of those strikes feels like. His leg kicks look like they hurt. His punches look like they hurt. His grappling looks like it hurts. Jared Cannonier looks like he sucks. Like, as far as that part concerns, like, everything just looks terrible from a feeling perspective when it comes to him. So I don't think Israel wants to get caught up in any of that nonsense, but I think he's skilled enough. His IQ is high enough. His range, I think, is going to be good enough to keep Jared off of him and do enough to win that fight and do it, again, in a stylistic way. I'm going to go with Israel by decision, but I wouldn't be surprised if somehow he catches him and wins by KO.
Okay.
Izzy is a large favorite. He is minus 420. Jared Cannonier is plus 330. So we've reached the main event. It feels a little anticlimactic because I think people are a lot more excited about the co-main. I think people are a lot more torn on the co-main. In terms of this one, I don't think many people are picking Jared Cannonier. He is absolutely deserving of this shot, to be clear. But I've just never been a Jared Cannonier guy, as you guys know. I'm also not thrilled with some of Izzy's recent performances, which I've said plenty of times on here. The second Vettori fight, the Jan fight, the second Whittaker fight, where he's kind of decided to do this spar in a fight thing.
The
and
Romero
I will say,
fight. The Romero fight.
Oh, yeah, that too. Well, that was maybe Yoel's fault, but either way, I guess, yeah, both their faults.
Yeah.
And I will say right now that if Izzy sits back and plays the spar game against Cannonier, he could absolutely lose this fight. It is far from impossible. But the way these two match up, I think we are going to be treated to vintage Izzy in this one. I think he's going to shine. I think he's going to put Cannonier away because Jared is going to try to walk him down. He's going to try to get inside and hurt him with something big. And against Izzy, that style is more or less asking to be countered. Ask Robert Whittaker from the first fight when he fought that way. I think Izzy lands something massive and puts him down. Izzy's got a 4-inch height and a 2.5-inch reach advantage. He's the more technical striker for sure, and I think he walks Cannonier into traps. I will say that he'll land a couple counters that hurt Cannonier at different times. Cannonier manages to shake him off. He keeps going. You start to think, oh, maybe it's going to be competitive. And then one more counter, man down, turn off the lights, everyone go home. Israel Adesanya, round 3, knockout.
I like that take, and I have a very similar one. I agree that stylistically, Stylebender is just going to, I think he's going to embarrass Cannonier. And I think he's going to style on him.
It's a big word.
I think just like against Robert Whittaker, I see Adesanya downloading in round 1, and then round 2, he's going to finish him with some kind of combination or counter strike, and we're going to see him put Jared Cannonier away.